The United States government has officially been shut down. As of today, it's been over 27 days, making it one of the longest shutdowns in US history. But this isn't just about missed paychecks or frozen programs. Behind the headlines, there's a bigger story. One that could shape the future of money, power, and control. Welcome to Elitology. Today, we're asking the question, is this government shutdown just political chaos? Or is it the prelude to a new digital economic order? The 2025 government shutdown began at 12:01 a.m. on October 1st. Since then, Washington has been at a standstill. Federal agencies are closed. Hundreds of thousands of workers are furloughed. Millions more are working without pay. And while Americans watch the gridlock, the world is quietly taking note, because this shutdown could reshape global confidence in the US economy. So how did we get here? It all comes down to Congress failing to pass funding bills for the new fiscal year. In simple terms, the government ran out of money, and lawmakers can't agree on how to refill the tank. The main points of conflict: federal spending caps, foreign aid reversals, and healthcare subsidy disputes under the Affordable Care Act. Sound familiar? That's because shutdowns usually happen when political parties use funding deadlines to force major policy fights. It's part budget, part leverage. Historically, shutdowns are born from power struggles. In 2013, it was about Obamacare. In 2018, it was about border wall funding. And in 2025, it's a battle over what the government funds at all. Each side digs in. And while they argue, the government stops functioning. But let's look deeper. Shutdowns don't just freeze government operations. They create opportunities behind the scenes. During a shutdown, fewer people are watching. Economic data releases are delayed. Transparency drops. That's when long-term policy shifts can quietly take shape, like restructuring agencies or even setting the stage for bigger financial reforms. Some analysts believe this deadlock could help justify a move towards centralized digital systems like CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. If government cash flow becomes unreliable, the argument for a programmable, trackable digital currency suddenly makes a lot more sense, at least to those in power. So, are we actually changing to a digital dollar? Officially, no. But conceptually, this moment aligns perfectly with the push for financial digitization. Think about it. When the government can't fund itself, when transactions freeze, when public confidence shakes, the solution presented could be a safer, more efficient digital currency directly controlled by central banks. It's not conspiracy, it's convenience. And convenience, historically, is how control expands. During a shutdown, active duty military personnel continue to serve, but their pay is often delayed until the shutdown ends. Federal employees are either furloughed or forced to work without pay. They'll eventually get back pay, but that doesn't help pay the bills today. Government contractors are hit hardest. They often never get reimbursed for lost time. The human cost of a shutdown adds up fast, not just in dollars, but in trust. Programs across the country are now at risk. Research grants, food safety inspections, national parks, even housing programs and education funding. Anything not classified as essential goes dark. The longer the shutdown lasts, the harder it becomes to restart. Each week of delay costs the US billions and weakens public faith in government stability. So how long could this go on? The longest shutdown in US history lasted 35 days back in 2018 and 2019. This one has already passed 27 days, and analysts warn it could last until Thanksgiving if negotiations continue to stall. Some experts believe it could become the longest ever, costing the economy over $15 billion per week. Now here's where it gets interesting. Next week, the Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC, meets to discuss interest rates. If they decide to cut rates while the government is still shut down, the consequences could ripple worldwide. Lower rates usually mean stimulus, easier borrowing, cheaper debt. But with a shutdown, the government isn't spending anyway. So what happens when fiscal policy stops, but monetary policy loosens? You get a strange paradox. The economy could look supported, but the data behind it is missing because agencies aren't even releasing reports during the shutdown. In short, the Fed could be flying blind, trying to steer the economy with incomplete information. That's risky. And it could reshape markets, currencies, and public trust all at once. So, let's zoom out. Every government shutdown reveals one truth. When systems fail, power consolidates. Shutdowns expose weakness, and weakness invites solutions. Maybe that's a new funding mechanism. Maybe that's a digital currency. Or maybe it's something much bigger, a restructuring of how global money itself moves. Whether that's by design or by dysfunction, it's happening. So as this shutdown drags on, ask yourself, is this just political gridlock or the controlled demolition of the old system to make room for a new one? If history teaches us anything, control never disappears. It just changes form. This is Elitology. If you found this episode thought-provoking, subscribe and share it, because understanding power is the first step to protecting freedom.